Attracts normal turtles. Wow, this is so helpful. Totally know what this item does. Are you stuck trying to figure out what an item does? Tired of alt-tabbing every minute? Worrying if this item would ruin your build? Well, we got the item just for you. Item Descriptions mod. This mod tells you everything you need to know about the item right in the game itself. No more hassle of switching to a wiki and ruining the momentum of that god run. And you're in luck because we have an annual sale that runs from January 1 to January 1 for the low price of free. Only available on PC and select games. It shouldn't be like this. Why do we need an external mod that isn't even available on all games or systems to be able to let players know the ins and outs of an item? Are we expected to just memorize all the numerical values or nuances of an item? Just start? To delve into more advanced play, there are games that rely heavily on the use of wikis in order to understand or play a game well. I like to call them wiki games. Minecraft, Terraria, and most roguelikes being good examples. I understand why games like these tend to rely on wikis to help the players. These games usually are indie or start with a small developer team. The tutoring or information aspect of the game was not a main focus for the team, which I totally understand. Shit's hard. But as game dev has grown a lot in the past decade and its core principles standardized, I think we can take a step back and think about how much a game should tell a player about itself and its systems. This is frankly a very difficult and broad topic that should be discussed by game design experts and seasoned developers, not a silly goober YouTuber like me. So, I just want to focus on this question in the context of a roguelike, since it's a genre that is riddled with ambiguity and fake descriptions, and it's the genre I'm kind of familiar with. Information is key in roguelikes. With the thousands of items, enemies, and interactions, it's like studying the whole Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica and only have 3 questions related to that show up in a 100-point exam. While most of us who play roguelikes extensively are nerds, me included, I don't think it's fun to memorize all, if not most of what the items do whenever I play a new roguelike. I know from memory the secrets, items, and hidden techniques of Risk of Rain 2, Slay the Spire, and Binding of Isaac, but that has taken me over 1500 hours just for those 3 games. When I want to play a new roguelike and want to maximize my chances and play well, I would be stuck in Wikiland again, just trying to remember what this stupid bullet item that has 100 other sprites similar to it, and the game just gives you the most vaguest description of it ever. Like, I just want to. I could take my time to memorize them all, but to be honest, I just don't give a quack to do that. You could say then I'm not committed to becoming a pro in that game, but I don't want to be a pro, but I also don't want to play stupid. I just want to play well. Having the game remind the player of basic information such as simple stats and functions of items can free up some time and space for a player to think of advanced techniques by combining and experimenting on these basic concepts. But we need to draw the line on how much the game tells you about itself. I want to know what things do, but not have my screen bombarded with pop-ups, tutorials, and text. Telling too much about the game can also stifle creativity and exploration of its mechanics, conditioning the player to just expect the game to tell you how hip and cool it is with its deep mechanics. The line needs to be drawn at a point where players don't need to free up half of their brain just to know basic information about items, while also leaving enough hidden to inspire intrigue and experimentation. And I think I have the answer to this dilemma. May, you don't need to say that you know the answer. Just say the answer. We don't have time to fit in more words. We're on a tight schedule. They might have clicked off by now. Okay, got it. Oh, also, quick change. You need to tell them to subscribe. But can't the entertaining video itself be enough for them to subscribe? And I thought we couldn't add more. 3, 2, 1, action! Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. So, the answer. For items, I think basic information such as simple, non-vague descriptions of what the item does, stat changes, and relevant percentages of chance need to be shown in a small text box when encountering the item. For events, I think descriptions should only be for those that have set patterns for them, such as the dice rooms in Isaac, Slay the Spire events, and special waves in Brotato. For normal enemies, I actually think it's okay not to say anything about them, because learning attack patterns is a natural process of getting good good at a game, and honestly, it's kinda entertaining, even though I die to be as a deck that I forget every now and then. Everything else, such as bosses and stages, are okay to not have explicit descriptions, because they are easier to familiarize as they happen less often and usually stick in the mind of the player easier. I think this proposal should alleviate the reliance on a wiki, but still makes wikis useful in learning about more complicated, obscure, specific mechanics and effective strategies. Oh, what's this? A scroll from the foil lens of Commentia. Let us take a gander. My dearest Queen May, with humble reverence, I extend this missive unto thee, bearing tidings of a query that hath stirred the minds of courtiers and scholars alike. Doth the divulgence of an item's true nature not rob the eager adventurer of the joyous thrill that accompanies its initial discovery? With unwavering fealty, Fart Drinker 69. Thank you, Fart Drinker 69, for that wonderful letter. From my expert knowledge about English literature, they're basically asking, if you tell the player what the item exactly does, doesn't it ruin the fun of discovering it for the first time? Great question, and I don't think that it'll ruin the fun. Let me explain. We have a concept here. It's a very messy, wish-washy, chaotic energy, and here we have a word, very defined and standardized. We assign these concepts to words and try to fit them into this word, but we cannot truly capture the true chaos that is the original concept. Through just a word, we only view the concept through the lens of language. The concept can be experienced in many different ways, such as sight, smell, touch, hearing, taste,
and your third eye.
Getting to know a concept is a combination of all these different feelings that our brain combines and rationalizes into our understanding of that concept, which is exactly why people who have never felt attraction feel confused when they read, "When I look into her eyes, I feel butterflies in my stomach," or "I want Dami to have my babies." They never have felt attraction and are only understanding love through these romantic, dramatized words. They feel confused because they lack the physical and emotional experience to formulate what love means. And this is exactly why having a simple description of an item does not completely remove the wonder of discovering an item for the first time. Simply saying "you shoot fetus tears" doesn't show you that the character, a baby by the way, will have their stomach split down the middle, with babies flying down that hole with a disgusting but satisfying pop as literal flying fetuses home in and destroy a monster. The raw, visceral experience of controlling Isaac with C-section can never ever be contained in a simple description. Even Noita, despite being a game of many secrets, literally gives you the description of what a spell does right off the bat, but has one of the best systems for experimentation ever in any roguelike I've ever seen. And that ends our lesson for today. Class is dismissed. Although, I do understand the goal of roguelikes to be super mysterious when a player loots into the game for the first time, with fake descriptions that incentivize the player to be curious. But with a genre that has repetition as its main gimmick, seeing the same mysterious item 5 times with the same mystical, vague description just doesn't have the same kick as when you see it for the first time. Most players would really just like a plain description of the item if possible. Which leads me to my new modified solution, where initially seeing the item first gives a vague mystical description to let the player discover what it does for themselves. Then, after seeing it a couple of times, the player unlocks its detailed item description for them to enable for future runs. Risk of Rain 2 actually does this after picking an item up, but the detailed descriptions are only available in the logbook and not in a run itself. The goal here really isn't to sanitize a game to the point that the game babies you through every step. The goal is to minimize the annoyance of constantly looking at a wiki for basic information and the constant remembering of this information to barely function in a game. Not all games need to have this like it's some PEGI 13 rating on the box. Games like Dark Souls, soils? What the fuck? Dark soils. There's like a different way to say when you pooped your pants. Dark soil, oh my god. Games like Dark Souls, Noita, Cruelty Squad, and any other game to come out of Finland don't have to have this basic info pizzazz, because by design, they're either very challenging,
Okay, come on, Chisolo. No!
deranged, unforgiving, or all three. But if your game is not meant to be those, I don't see why the inclusion of basic useful information should not be provided. Again, I'm not a developer by any means and don't know the true struggle of game dev, but I would like this to be something to consider for future developers to think about. Minecraft and Terraria actually updated their game to include a bit more in-game guides to help lessen wiki reliance. Wiki Games and I have a very weird relationship because while I have many complaints and irks on its reliance on wikis, making a whole video about that, these games are some of my favorite. Minecraft, Terraria, Binding of Isaac, Risk of Rain 2 are easily in my top 10 games of all time. But as I have been playing these for more than a decade, I realized the reason why they are great is not because you have to alt-tab to your 50 wiki tabs every few minutes to remember one number, but because of their deep mechanics and limitless replayability. Easing this reliance on wikis by providing basic information in the game itself can alleviate the frustration of a new player and leave more space for an advanced player to explore deeper mechanics. And to me, I think that would be pretty nice. Hello, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you loved the video, and of course this is not the end of the discussion about wiki games. You can comment down below and I'll try my best to respond. Like, if you have any comments, suggestions on the, what am I saying? Basically, if you want to if there's problems you have with my statement or my thesis or whatever, oh my god, I'm so nerdy. Just comment down below and I'll try my best to respond. I've also started streaming recently, twitch.tv/May_June_July. Mostly gonna be chilled streams, but I also plan to do gaming challenges, sort of like a little Doug-esque, where I get a roguelike and I play some interesting things, like maybe playing Balatro where you don't see your cards, or Isaac where you have to use Crooked Penny every room. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but hopefully I keep this streaming and YouTube thing together. And I hope you're having a great day. And it really, again, would be appreciated if you subscribe and like and comment and give me $5 million. That's it. I hope you have a great day, week, and month.